Okay, so about a year ago, I moved from battery lanterns where you had to change the cells to the rechargeable units that I currently sell. This is the Mark 1 rechargeable lantern. It's 11 gram square meter cuban top and 2.9 ounce hybrid cuban fibre on the bottom. Inside you've got a light unit which will deliver up to 45 lumens for around an hour, and it uses old school single LED Nisha, which still bright, and it's a great lantern. It's really light, but I've been looking to extend the runtime, and I have now come up with the daddy version. So this is the Mark 2 rechargeable. Same 2.9 ounce on the base, but you've got 1 ounce on the upper just to give it a bit of toughness. It's much bigger. It's about 12 centimeters long and about 5 centimeters square, and it weighs 27 ounces if you exclude the pocket clip, which you'll get with it. More on that later. Inside we've got a Cree XPG unit with a 500 mAh battery, which doesn't sound a lot, but the old one was only 180. The XPG units are extremely efficient, so we're going to get much better run times, and we're going to be able to push in excess of 200 lumens, which, if I'm honest, wasn't the main goal. Lumens are great, but let's be honest, if you're sitting in your shelter at night, you're not going to need 200 lumens because it's going to make your retinas bleed and ruin your night vision. But it's got 4 modes. It's got moonlight mode, which I haven't tested the runtime on because it's just a couple of lumens and it's basically for as long as you like, but let's call it 40 hours, something like that. Level 2, which is actually similar to the old one, around 40 to 45 lumens. Now, these are not tested lumens. Manufacturers make all sorts of claims about their lumen output. I'm more interested in usability. I found level 2 for me is plenty for reading, plenty for finding your way around your food bag and just undertaking general tasks in camp. And on level 2, I got to about 5.5 hours and then I got bored and switched it off. So with judicious use, I think you could probably do an entire weekend on that. Level 3 is more of an area light and will light your tent if you need to search for stuff that you've lost, or if you want to nip out to the toilet or whatever. A handy thing. And on that you'll get about 2.5 hours. I did detect a little bit of step down towards the end of that period, but it was still plenty bright enough, and it's probably more light than you'll ever need. Level 4 is just sort of insane mode, and you're going to get about an hour and a half. With the Lite, you can pass through charge it, so you could plug in a power bank. That's going to be a bit of a hassle if it's hanging, obviously. So, but you could sit it on the floor next to you. It'd still get off plenty of light, and you can charge and use it in perpetuity until your battery on your power pack runs out. But without that, say around an hour and a half. Again, a little bit of step down towards the end of that period. But for me, it's the level 2 performance that I think is the big boon here, because you're going to get extended run times where you don't have to fart around recharging all the time. So what else do we need to know? I've made it quick release so that you can remove the unit from the bag. So if you want to whip out to the toilet and you don't want to use your main light, you can just unclip it. There's basically a mitten clip for hanging it up this end, and then there's a mitten clip going to a split ring inside that will actually allow you just to flick it on and off. And the mitten clips I use are excellent for that because they've actually got a little protruding piece that goes into the inside, so you don't have to push the bar in. You just set it against that little fork there and just push and it'll pop off, and yeah, makes life a lot easier. when you get it, give it a good charge. It will go from red to green, and you know you're away when it turns green. These will be going on sale on the website, hopefully not long after this video hits YouTube. I'm not going to turn the light on because the camera will just adjust and you won't get any impression of what the light's like. But it's more light than you'll ever need, and I think the run times are excellent. So I'll leave it there. I will also make available, if you've got a suitable torch already that's capable of being tail hung, it must be able to be tail hung, and you don't really want it to come down any lower than halfway down the bag, so a couple of inches long, and you can just buy the bag, and I will basically just leave it so that there's a mitten hook on the inside, mitten hook on the end, normal cord lock, and you can just fill the bag with whatever you like. I didn't do that on the old ones because they're quite short and the 11-gram Cuban isn't that tough, and I didn't want to take the risk of people using stuff that might be too much for it. So, but with this, it'll stand a bit of abuse. So, you know, you can hang, I don't know, something like a Thor fire or some of the Nightcore sort of micro torches, those sorts of things. If you've got one of those, buy the bag, just drop it in and go from there. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.